Hi friends, it's Quenby, Grateful Queen here on YouTube, and today's video is all about how I increased my sales on Poshmark. I've been selling on eBay for 8 years and Poshmark for 2 years. Because I started on eBay and I've been doing it so long, I was much more comfortable selling on eBay and I had way more sales on the eBay platform. So in 2019, I really tried to dive into Poshmark more to increase my sales because I was struggling to get daily sales on Poshmark. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 techniques that I used in order to increase my sales on Posh, and I'm going to go into each one in depth in the hopes that maybe it'll help you increase your sales too. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Quenby. Welcome. I'm so glad you came to the channel. This is the channel all about reselling online. I'm a part-time reseller. I've been doing it 8 years. I sell mostly women's clothing and accessories, a little bit of men's, a little bit of kids. And I absolutely love it. It's a great way to work from home and earn extra money and be your own boss, which I just think is fantastic. So I hope this channel might inspire you to do the same thing. I mostly shop at thrift stores. I do some yard sales. I do some retail arbitrage, some online arbitrage. I'm a seller that really likes to mix things up in my business and try new things. So you can follow along with that on the channel here. But for today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how I increased my sales on Poshmark. Because I started on eBay, you guys, I'm so much more comfortable with the eBay platform. And I tell people that I'm much more comfortable selling on eBay. They're surprised because Poshmark is a much simpler platform for both the seller and the buyer. eBay's a little bit more complicated because it has so many more options. But on Poshmark, there's a flat 20% fee, so that's pretty easy as a seller to figure that out. Shipping is simplified because there's just one option. For $7.10 that the buyer pays, it goes priority. So in listing on there, there's really not a ton of options. When you go to list, you don't have to fill in as much information. There's not as much choice and decision making as there is on eBay. So when I tell people eBay's easier for me, they're often surprised. I think one of the reasons Poshmark was harder for me is that it's a much more social platform. So it requires a lot more sharing. So let's start with my first technique. The first thing that I did to increase my sales on Poshmark was to get on board with this whole idea of sharing and to share more. How did I do that? I hired out a virtual assistant. So Poshmark does not want you to use like a bot to share, but they are okay with hiring a human being, a virtual assistant, to help share your listings. Why did I do this? I did this because as a seller, I think you have to know what your strengths are and what some of your obstacles are. And for me, a huge obstacle to making regular sales on Poshmark was sharing. I personally found it very difficult to go on and share once a day, twice a day. Some sellers even share 3 times a day, their entire closet. My closet's not that big, you guys. I probably have like 200 active listings on there because I tend to feed eBay more. Poshmark has been sort of a side reselling hustle for me. eBay's been my main platform and Poshmark has been my side, but I am growing Poshmark. And one of the ways that I did that was to get on board with sharing, hire a VA because I knew myself and I knew I was not going to share my entire closet twice a day. And I think that you need to be sharing every day, at least once. Some sellers share 2 or 3 times a day in order to make regular, consistent sales. Poshmark wants you to be active on the platform, sharing your closet and also other people's closet. It's just the way it is. If you want to sell on Poshmark, you have to find a way to commit to sharing regularly. I knew that I was not going to sit at home and spend 20 to 30 minutes sharing. So I did hire a VA. I hired a VA through Upwork. It's very inexpensive. There are other YouTube channels like my friend Denali over at El Ducho. Check out her channel. She's got a video all about how to go on Upwork and hire a VA. I know this topic can be a little bit controversial. Some people don't like the idea of hiring VAs. Some people love it. I'm obviously on the side of it really worked for me. I'm so grateful. I couldn't do what I do without having a VA to share. So I hire my VA to share my closet every day, twice a day, and also share other people's closets. So she does 30 minutes twice a day. And since I started sharing that regularly, my whole closet twice a day and other people's closets too, that definitely, I definitely saw an increase in my sales. I will tell you though, I do go in personally to Poshmark all the time, and I do share closets too. I shop on there a lot. So I'm a seller on Poshmark, but also a buyer. So if I see someone's closet that I love, I will share stuff from their closet manually. My friends that I've talked to on Instagram and here on YouTube, if you drop your closet name to me, I'm often gonna go in there and personally share because I like the community aspect of it. So the take home from this tip, kind of get on board with sharing, is figure out what you need to do in order to be able to share your entire closet at least once a day. More would be even better. Also share other people. If you have to hire that out, or if you have to put yourself on a schedule where you schedule a time block that you're gonna sit and do that, you need to be sharing every day your full closet at least once on Poshmark in order to make more sales. Second tip is I started listing more on Poshmark. So you need to list very regularly on Poshmark to make regular sales. If your sales are slow, go list a few things. If you want regular sales on Poshmark, daily sales, you need to be listing regularly and daily on Poshmark. A challenge for me was that I was putting way more energy into eBay. So I was making sure I got 5 to 10 items listed every day on eBay. That's how I have such consistent regular sales over there. So it makes sense. I needed to do the same thing on Poshmark. So when I started making a big effort towards listing regularly, I don't manage it quite every day. I wish I did, you guys, but I do it a lot more than I did before. So when I started prioritizing getting new listings up on Poshmark regularly, daily if I can, then I started noticing much more sales in my Poshmark closet. So you need to list, again, be really active on the platform. You need to list regularly if you want to make regular, consistent sales. Set up some sort of schedule for yourself where, so one of the things that I'll do is I can't create brand new listings every single day where I take photos and I sit and list them. So I do like batching, you guys. So on a day where I know I have a few hours, I will take a lot of pictures for Poshmark, do my measurements, but I won't release all the listings on one day. In my opinion, and my experience has shown me, it's better to list a few every day than list 10 all in one day and then not list for a few days at all. Save your listings. I forget how many drafts Poshmark lets you save, but I want to say it's like 10. And then I'd have more photos backed up on my phone. So when I used up those 10, I could create more. But set up some kind of system like that so that you can list more frequently. Even if it's less items per day, in my opinion, it's better to list like 3 items 5 to 7 days a week than it is to list all those items on one day. So okay, the next technique I used to grow my sales on Poshmark was really utilizing the offer to likers feature. And this is something a lot of people in the reseller community are talking about currently, especially on Instagram. Find me on Instagram at GratefulQueenBee. Say hi so that we can chat over there. There's a ton of great support and education on Instagram. So find me over there. I'd love to talk to you over there. But something that people are talking about on Instagram right now, I'm filming this in March 2020, is choosing to send out offers to likers or not. There are some resellers right now that are saying, I'm done with sending out offers to likers. It doesn't make a real difference for me. That could totally be true. All I can do is share my personal experience. And in my experience, when I started getting more consistently on Poshmark, I saw the sales coming in. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about how I choose to send out offers. You have to figure out what works for you, but this is what's worked for me.
I didn't subscribe to Grateful Queen, so I had bad luck. I only made a little bit of money. I had super bad luck. Now I did subscribe to Grateful Queen, so I had great luck. I can reach when I was just a child. I was able to afford ruby and diamond bracelets. And I had the best luck ever. I won the soccer game. I had so much money. Woo! It rained
So I have chosen to send out offers to likers on Thursday evenings. And the reason I do that is because a lot of people get paid, their paycheck comes in on Thursday evenings, or it could be Friday. But I've chosen to do it on Thursday evenings, and that has worked really well for me. And I send out offers on everything. So it is time consuming, but when I do it, I do see sales come in. I usually make a few sales on Thursday night just from that. This last Thursday, I made a lot of sales, you guys. But it does take time to sit at your computer, click on each item, see if it has likers, send out offers to that liker. I do it on Thursday, I think is smart. I also make sure that I'm sending out a pretty decent offer of at least 20%, but honestly, you guys, I'm often sending out like 30 or 40% with discounted shipping and sometimes free shipping. People love free shipping on Poshmark because the shipping is so expensive. It's $7.10. And it's the same $7.10 whether you're sending out a pair of earrings that weigh 2 ounces or, a giant jacket that's like 5 pounds. So shipping's expensive. So a lot of buyers are looking for a shipping discount. They're waiting for a shipping discount because who wants to pay $7.10? That's something I love about eBay is you can choose to offer free shipping, which I do on eBay, and then I just build it into the cost of the item. Or you can put whatever shipping you want. It doesn't have to just go priority. I'm really hoping that Poshmark comes up with a first-class shipping option, not just priority. But anyway, it is what it is. So you have to work with what you've got. So I've been sending out offers on Thursday nights. I've been sending them out for at least 20%, but often more like 30 or 40%. And I'm doing a shipping discount of at least a couple dollars off, but sometimes free shipping. So of course you have to set this up ahead of time. If you know you're gonna use the offers to likers feature on Poshmark, which I highly recommend you do, you have to pad your price. So if I really wanna get $20 for a Free People top, I'm gonna list it at $30. That way, if it does not sell and I don't get offers, I can send out my own offers and they can be a pretty decent offer. I just don't think 10% offer is enough to build up that enthusiasm in a buyer to make that purchase. But if you're sending out like a 40% offer, buyers love that. They're gonna be like 40% off. They're more likely to pull that trigger and make that sale. So I do at this time in my business use offers to likers. I do it on all my items that have likers on Thursday nights, at least 20%, and with a shipping discount, free shipping if you can, more than 20% if you can. And I saw a lot of sales come in when I started doing that regularly. Okay, tip number 4 is lowering your price on items. So on Poshmark, it's pretty cool because if you lower the price of your item by at least 10%, an email or a notification goes out to your buyer that Grateful Queen's Free People top the price has been lowered, so it creates kind of a sense of urgency. This is an item that they liked, so they had some interest in the item, and then it's going on sale, and they're gonna get a notification through the app and or an email that the price has been reduced. And again, I try and reduce the price significantly. Poshmark has a rule, they're not going to send the notification unless you reduce it by 10%. I personally think 10% does not necessarily create eagerness in a buyer, so I like to reduce the price by more than that. Again, I pad my listing price, knowing that if I want 20 bucks, I might have to put it up there for 30 or $40, knowing I might have to send out offers to likers and I might have to reduce the price. So what I mean by reducing the price is you hit edit listing and you go into the listing and change the price from $30 to $20. A notification then goes out to anyone who's liked that item, and they get notified by email or on the app or both, depending on what their settings are, that there's been a price reduction, and buyers love price reductions. It's like sale. Poshmark does not have a feature to run a sale in your entire closet. You can find ways to do that yourself, but for example, on eBay, I can run 50% off all tops, a sale like that. But Poshmark at this time does not have that sale feature where you can just have a blanket sale on items in your closet. There are ways that sellers can get creative and, create a listing in their closet that says 3 items for $20 or 50% off, send me an offer, but there's no way to notify everybody that you're having a sale or anybody that looks at that particular item that it's on sale. So there are ways you can be creative about it, but you can use this feature on Poshmark where you lower the price at least 10% and then a notification will go out to your customer. It has to be at least $10 though. That's a little thing to know. You can't put it 20% off and now the item's only $8 because then the buyer won't receive that notification, and we want them to receive a personal notification. So if they're interested in that item, they know, oh gosh, it just went down 20% and this probably went out to everybody that's liking the item, and so there's an urgency. They want to buy that item first. So I'll often drop prices that way by at least 10%, still with a total of $10. Let that notification go out to customers, and I often get sales that way just by lowering the price of the item. This last technique that I'm going to share with you is definitely one that has helped me. I'm going to call it kind of like doing your own store review, like review your Poshmark closet periodically. This has really helped me a great deal. So I'm going to explain it in more detail. I'm going to call it, closet review. So think about if you hired somebody, an experienced Poshmark seller, someone who's just killing it on Poshmark, to review your closet, what would they say? And can you do that for yourself? So what I do is I'll go into my Poshmark closet and I'm kind of looking for stale items, things that haven't sold, and I'm looking at why they haven't sold. Is it an item that I just need to redonate because it was a bad purchase? If so, pull it off. It's dragging down your Poshmark closet, and redonate it if you need to. Or when I review my Poshmark closet and something that hasn't sold, and I'm going to look at why. Is it because my price is too high? Do I need to edit my price? Maybe. Is it because my pictures aren't good? And that's a big one. Sometimes I'll be going through my Poshmark closet and I'm like, yes, this looks so great. This looks so great. What's with this picture? Like it's dark, or it's a maxi dress and you can only see half of it. Or for whatever reason, I just put it up there. Maybe I was rushing and it doesn't have a great photo. Photos are everything when selling online, you guys. Our customers are not walking through the store, getting to touch the items, getting to try them on, and then decide to make the purchase. The only things they have to decide to make the purchase is your listing. So go through and review your store and things that aren't selling and take a look at why. Are your pictures not good? Is your description not good? Is your title not great? Is your price not competitive? Just with a critical eye, as if you were reviewing your closet, go through and see what needs to be changed and improved. One of the things I've done when I'm kind of doing my own personal store review and getting really honest with myself is I'll just pull items off Posh and be like, this isn't selling, I'm gonna relist it. Pulling stale items that haven't sold and either relisting or totally editing, making a brand new listing, that has helped me so much. I'm telling you guys, I've had things that are sitting in my Poshmark closet for 6 months, haven't sold, and I'm like, enough. I end the listing on Poshmark and I start all over. Sometimes I need new pictures, so I'll take new pictures. If my pictures are fine, maybe I can reuse them, but maybe I need a better title or a better description. Put a lot of great keywords in your description and your title because that's how people find your item. So make sure to look over your description and be like, do I have the right keywords in here? Am I describing it well? Is the buyer gonna find this item based on what I've written in my title and description? So you may need to redo some stuff, and that's okay. Sometimes, if you don't have inventory to list, go through your closet and pull things that need to be relisted, and then you can get new eyes on your item. Because if you've had a Poshmark listing up for like 6-8 months and it hasn't sold, but it has a lot of likers, and you've already done everything, you've already reduced the price, you've already sent out offers. If it's been there that long, it's most likely that liker is not going to turn around and buy your item now. So I would just start over. That's okay to do. It's a little time consuming, but it's worth it. And I usually make sales. I've used this technique where I pull something off, create a whole new listing, and then the thing sells. And I'm like, why didn't it sell for 6 or 8 months? But now it's sold. So there's a lot you can do to be proactive. I personally don't like just sitting around waiting for something to sell. If there's something I can do, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it on sale, I'm gonna lower the price. But if all else fails and you still think it's a decent item If it's not a decent item, it's okay to say this was a mistake and redonate it or give it to somebody or whatever. But if you think it's a decent item that someone might really like and enjoy, just start over. Do a brand new listing, get fresh eyes on it, make sure you have a competitive price, make sure you have a good title, a great description, and it's okay to just start over. So yeah, on this one I would just say every once in a while it's smart business to go through your closet, see what's not selling, try and figure out why, if there's something you can do to improve that listing. And I know it can sort of feel like a drag, like, oh, I don't want to have to do this again, but it's often worth it. I've made so many sales on items that were before stale just by cutting my losses, starting over, making a nice new fresh listing with new pictures, new title, new description, maybe a new price, and start all over. And I've had so many things sell in doing that. So those are my 5 techniques. It's really worked for me. If you've got some other techniques, because there are others, I just chose these 5, put them down in the comment section below, because then when people come and watch this video, they can look at the comments and maybe see if there's something else that's been successful for you. I love that you watch this video. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Try and catch me live on Friday nights. I do a live at 5 most Fridays on YouTube. It's kind of a community night where we all get to come together and talk about our businesses, share what we're up to, and connect with one another. There's a great reseller community, and I'd love to have you be a part of it. Thank you for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.